By the 29th century, Earth has become a massive landfill, choked with trash from centuries of overconsumption and neglect. Skies are cluttered with broken satellites, streets buried under towers of garbage, and no signs of life remain. 700 years earlier, the By and Large Corporation evacuated humanity onto giant space cruisers, planning for robots to clean up the planet in just 5 years. Instead, cleanup stretched on endlessly, and all but one robot broke down. That lone survivor is Wall-E, a boxy, solar-powered trash compactor with a curious personality. Day after day, he crushes garbage into cubes and stacks them like skyscrapers, scavenging spare parts from fallen robots to keep himself going. Despite the desolate world around him, Wall-E shows human-like quirks. He keeps a pet cockroach named Hal, collects strange relics like Rubik's Cubes and lighters, and replays an old VHS of Hello Dolly, while mimicking the dance routines. His shelter resembles a mix between a museum and a workshop, filled with the trinkets he treasures. Then, while exploring a fridge, Wall-E uncovers something miraculous: a small green plant growing inside an old shoe. On a planet overtaken by waste, this fragile sprout is the first sign of new life in centuries. Wall-E's solitary routine changes when a sleek, high-tech probe robot named Eve, extraterrestrial vegetation evaluator, arrives on Earth. Armed with scanners and a plasma cannon, she's on a mission to find signs of life, vaporizing anything suspicious in the process. Wall-E is instantly smitten and trails her like a love-struck puppy, even surviving a few near misses from her trigger-happy blasts. During a dust storm, Wall-E invites Eve into his home, proudly showing her his quirky collection of human relics and his beloved Hello Dolly tapes. The highlight is his discovery of a living plant, which Eve quickly secures inside herself before shutting down into standby mode. No amount of tinkering or desperate attempts can wake her. When Eve's probe ship returns to collect her, Wall-E clings to it and is carried into space. Their destination is the Axiom, a massive starliner where humanity has spent the past 700 years in what was meant to be a temporary escape. Life aboard has turned humans into overweight, screen-obsessed beings who spend their days reclining in hover chairs, waited on by robots. Among them are passengers John and Mary, who, like the rest, live in a world of endless convenience and inactivity. Aboard the Axiom, Captain B. McCrea is technically in charge, though most of the real authority belongs to Otto, the autopilot programmed to obey Directive A113, a hidden order forbidding any return to Earth. When Eve presents the plant as proof that Earth can sustain life again, McCrea is stunned. According to the ship's manual, placing it in the holodetector would trigger humanity's long-awaited return. But the plant has mysteriously vanished. Believing Wall-E to blame, Eve is labeled defective and taken away for diagnostics. Wall-E, thinking she's in danger, launches a clumsy rescue that frees a horde of malfunctioning robots and brands them both as fugitives. Exasperated, Eve tries to send him back to Earth in an escape pod until they catch Otto's assistant, Go-4, attempting to jettison the plant inside a self-destructing pod. Wall-E risks his life to save it, surviving the explosion and emerging with the plant intact. This act of courage softens Eve, leading to a breathtaking dance together in the void of space. When Eve finally returns the plant, Captain McCrea watches her recordings of Earth's devastation and of Wall-E's solitary dedication, and realizes humanity must reclaim and restore their home. Otto, however, refuses to allow it, revealing that By and Large secretly abandoned Earth centuries ago. Determined to enforce Directive A113, Otto begins plotting to keep humanity aboard the Axiom forever. A flashback reveals that By and Large's CEO, Shelby Forthright, once promised humanity's space cruise would last only 5 years while robots cleaned up Earth. When that plan failed, he secretly issued Directive A113, permanently forbidding any return and dissolved the company. 7 centuries later, Captain McCrea believes Earth is ready again, but Otto refuses to abandon its outdated orders. It admits to sabotaging the plant and stages a mutiny, electrocuting Wall-E, shutting down Eve, and dumping them into the garbage chute. By luck, and help from the quirky cleaning bot Mo, they survive, and other robots rally to their side. McCrea finally steps up as a true leader, battling Otto in a struggle of man versus machine. At the same time, Wall-E sacrifices himself by holding open the holodetector, while Eve fights to place the plant inside. The humans, stirred from their complacency, Join in John and Mary even save a group of children as chaos erupts. Macria disables Otto, and with the plant secured, the Axiom jumps into hyperspeed, heading back to Earth at last. Once home, Eve repairs Wall-E, only to find his memory wiped clean. Just as she despairs, a spark of affection revives his personality, reuniting the two robots. Meanwhile, humanity takes its first unsteady steps on Earth, determined to rebuild. The planet may still be a wasteland, but now it holds something it hasn't in centuries: hope. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. And don't forget to click the recommended video to keep the fun going.